Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. Ever heard the phrase extra pair of hands? What if someone could actually have more hands than two? What about a third eye? Most of you will agree that any extra body part on the human body would be one too many. But there are people who are actually born with extra body parts. Extra fingers, extra limbs, extra genitals, and even an extra whole body. You'll see what I mean. These cases are rare, unbelievable even, but they actually do exist. And often, people with extra body parts attract the extra attention wherever they may be, whether they like it or not. In today's short video are the stories and experiences of 10 people with extra body parts. Number 3 is so rare it could only happen to 1 in 5 million people. We hope you won't miss it. Number 10. Zhang Ruifang, horned grandma. At age 100, this Chinese woman sprouted a horn on her forehead that looked more like a unicorn horn. Her family members and villagers were obviously baffled, perhaps even worried, when the mysterious protrusion first appeared on their granny's head. The horn started out as a small spot but grew tremendously, reaching 2.4 inches within the year. While it's not uncommon for elderly persons to develop such spots, it's quite rare for them to grow out into full-length, horn-like protrusions. Formally, these unusual spots are known as keratinous skin tumors, and are made of the same stuff that makes our hair and fingernails. And although they are considered to be benign, you don't want a 2-inch long spot sprouting on your head. Zhang Ruifang's case got even more bizarre when another spot became visible, developing on the other side of her forehead. But instead of getting worried, she expressed that she was looking forward to when the two would match in length. Am I the only one here who's thinking she's gonna look like a horned she-devil now? Number 9. Tyson Smith, piggyback heart. Right about Valentine's Day of 2011, Tyson Smith woke up with a smiley face full of hearts, after a unique life-saving cardiac surgery gave him a new lease on life, quite literally. Mr. Smith was suffering from heart failure, and doctors at UC San Diego's Thornton Hospital noted that he was facing death if nothing was done. But the doctors could not perform a standard heart transplant just yet. Mr. Smith's weak heart had already built a high resistance to blood flow in the lungs, pulmonary hypertension, a situation that would have caused a newly transplanted heart to fail. So doctors had to perform a very rare procedure called heteroptic transplantation, which means that they graft a donor heart onto his own heart rather than completely remove his weak but functional heart. Essentially, the procedure left Tyson Smith with a piggyback heart, a second heart if you will, working alongside his own heart. Number 8. Alfie Clamp, extra DNA strand. Here's something that's never seen before: someone born with an extra strand of DNA. Alfie Clamp was born with the rather unusual condition being the very first person in the world to have an extra strand of material in his DNA. The boy was born blind and with severe disabilities, situations which led to doctors carrying out multiple tests on him from a very young age. He was only 2 when doctors discovered the extra strand of DNA material on his 7th chromosome. Doctors were baffled at the boy's condition since the extra arm they observed on his DNA had never before been documented anywhere in the world. In fact, his condition was so unique it did not have a name. It was not clear if the condition was responsible for the multiple problems the boy was experiencing. At one point, he stopped breathing completely and his parents feared for the worst, but luckily, Alfie came to moments after the terrifying episode. Number 7. Akshat Saxena, excess digits. Akshat Saxena from northern India was an extraordinary child right from birth when his parents realized that their son had an excess of fingers and toes. The excess digits were caused by a genetic disorder called polydactyly. It is a gene mutation that commonly manifests as an extra little finger on the side of the hand. Akshat's case was no different from that of the boy in China who was born in 2004, having 15 fingers and 16 toes, a total of 31 digits. The Chinese boy had to undergo surgery when he was 7 years old and was able to walk properly and wear shoes normally like the other kids at school. Number 6. Deepak Paswan, 4 extra limbs. Born in 2002, this boy from a small village in Bihar, India, was born with a parasitic twin attached to his chest. He was just an innocent boy, but people from his village were torn between deciding whether he was the devil or the reincarnation of Vishnu, a Hindu deity often depicted in different avatars with multiple limbs. But technically, or rather biologically, Deepak Paswan was every bit a human, neither devil nor a small god. Deepak never paid mind to anyone who cursed him out, nor to those who'd want to shower him with praise. He simply wanted to live life like the other kids in the village. His parents were unable to raise funds to pay for their son's expensive procedure and have the limbs removed. And so, as Deepak grew, the extra limbs on his chest developed with him. One day, however, the family was overjoyed when one hospital in Bangalore City offered to perform the procedure for free. The $78,000 surgery was a success, and Deepak was now free to live the rest of his life without people teasing him and calling him Octopus Boy. Number 5. Lakshmi Tatma, extra torso, extra limbs. Born on the 31st of December 2005, a young girl was named after the Indian goddess of wealth and prosperity called Lakshmi. The girl was born with an extraordinary condition which left her attached to a semi-developed conjoined twin, giving her an extra torso and extra limbs. The conjoined parasitic twin's body attached to Lakshmi's body from below her torso, something that gave her the appearance of having 8 limbs and 2 torsos, end to end. Exactly how the small god she's named after is often portrayed. People from the village worshipped and flocked in praise of the girl who they believed was an incarnation of the goddess Lakshmi. Her mother even once claimed to have received a sign that she would bring forth a special child into the world, a child who would be revered. But Lakshmi, the girl, was just a girl, born with a rare condition which people had misconstrued to turn her into an idol. What they did not know, however, was that the girl was in pain. Lakshmi's condition caused her to suffer terrible fevers and persistent infections, something which made her health deteriorate by the day. Luckily, in 2007, Lakshmi was scheduled for a surgical procedure that would come to be referred to as a breakthrough in medical history. The 27-hour, 30-doctor procedure was one of its kind, and it was a huge success. Number 4. Baby Itzamara, born pregnant. Now this is ultra rare. A Colombian woman was expecting twins but gave birth to one child, who was pregnant with her own twin. The newborn girl was named Itzamara and is one of 200 babies ever to have been born pregnant. During an ultrasound, doctors noticed that the mother had 2 umbilical cords but only 1 fetus. They had to quickly perform a C-section on her 2 weeks before she was due. Just 24 hours after the emergency surgery, day-old Itzamara had to undergo a C-section of her own to remove the unborn twin who was mysteriously inside her young womb in the form of a mass which had no brain or heart. Both operations were successful, but what happened to baby Itzamara is one medical mystery that has left many doctors scratching their heads. Well, there was one other similar case in China where a girl was found to have 2 underdeveloped fetuses in her womb, which were removed when she was only 3 weeks old. Still, this is very, very abnormal, and according to one Dr. Birch, weird things happen early in the pregnancy that we just don't understand. Number 3. Sarah Reinfelder, 2 uteruses. We already told you that strange things happen in pregnancies, but some pregnancies are, in and of themselves, very odd. I mean, what are the chances of having a sibling with whom you share the exact date of birth? Oh yeah, same daddy and mommy as well, and that sibling isn't your twin. Sarah Reinfelder broke the internet with news of her healthy babies born at the same time, each from a separate of her 2 uteruses. The mother from Michigan first discovered that she had 2 uteri after she experienced a miscarriage with her first pregnancy in 2007. She lost the twins, and doctors noted that it would be very unlikely for her to bear children due to her condition. But 2 years later, Sarah overcame almost insurmountable odds, giving birth to another set of twins, each from her 2 wombs. About 1 in 2,000 women could have 2 uteruses, of which not all will have both uteri functional. But to conceive in both uteruses and carry a successful pregnancy, such as Sarah's, that's a 1 in 5 million chance.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
And in today's best pick, this picture was sent to us by a subscriber just like you. It shows a woman putting on a busty display that will knock you off your feet. Number 2. Jasmine Tridival, extra breast. No, you haven't woken up in Total Recall. This woman actually has an extra breast. Jasmine Tritival was the first woman in the world to have a third breast surgically added. She has since been at war with netizens claiming that she is a fake. She, however, insists that she did get the controversial boob job done for $20,000 and even tattooed on it. She revealed that she had trouble finding a willing surgeon to do the controversial procedure, but eventually landed on one willing to perform the surgery. But it's the reason she gave for wanting to have a third breast that will shock you. Jasmine said that she got the third breast because she wanted to look unattractive, especially so that she can put men off. The outcome, however, was the exact opposite, as she came to learn that some fellas are not put off that easily.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Diphallic Dude. 2 Johnsons. Finishing strong at number 1 is the guy from Reddit claiming to pack 2 Johnsons, or male members if you like. The anonymous guy, known only by the pseudonym Triple D, shocked many when he agreed to answer any and all questions regarding his experience having 2 functional Johnsons. The Reddit post where the guy literally shared to the world the ins and outs of his anatomy as well as his numerous wild escapades went viral. One of the most asked questions was whether the 2 Johnsons can do everything in unison, to which the guy confirmed. The endowed guy, who identified as American, went ahead to write an e-memoir a year after his much-debated Reddit post. His Kindle book titled Double Header was widely sold on Amazon. He even followed it with a second e-publication, which he narrated the steamy tales of his wild escapades. Hey, you made it to the end of the video! If you enjoyed, be sure to click the like icon and leave a comment. Thankfully, you don't need an extra finger for that. Your engagement is what keeps our curiosity going. We have lots of videos that you will enjoy. You can start by checking out the 2 already showing up on your screen right now. Keep it 100.